Hey guys, Jonah here, one more time to do another beer review, and going to be doing one from the London Beer 52 box. Um, as is my want at the moment, I'm down to one box. I've finished all those boxes. This is the final box until the new one gets delivered. But I'm going to try and do as many beers as I can before then. Um, Interesting beer, interesting beer. Let me show you the beer first. Usually I do other things. It's this one, DDH Pale 188. And if you didn't realise already, that's brew by numbers or brewing by numbers, BBNO. And there's the old Transport for London symbol. Let me put this down. Now, interestingly enough, there is nothing in here. Actually, let me double check the map in here. There is a reason for such madness. I should probably hold it up so you guys can see. So, brewing by numbers used to be here in a Bermondsey, and then they've moved, down here. But that isn't them either. And I was thinking, they're not on here. And, dear viewer, they are not on there. They are on here. Oops, yeah, they are there. And I'll read you that blurb in a minute. However, they are not on here at all. Not in that Bermondsey thing, and not down there in Greenwich. And the reason why is because they moved. But you would have thought by now they would have sorted it out. They used to be, well, they've traditionally always been in Bermondsey. They used to be in someone's basement when they were doing. They're basically a home brewer, and then they went professional. And they started off in London Bridge, kind of in someone's basement, and then went to the Arches, underneath the Arches, on the Bermondsey Mile. But I think it was a couple of years ago. For some, well, it's because those arches, they're quite small, and they wanted to have a bigger brewery, so they moved to Greenwich, which is where they are now. But they don't seem to have moved. I looked on their website, and they say, "Oh, come to Greenwich," blah blah blah. But there's nothing really to say why they moved or what was going on. And Beer 52 sort of noticed, but hasn't given any reason why. I don't know if you noticed, but all of these have a little thing on the top, and it tells you where they are. There's one that says Bermondsey, apart from this one. Can you see up here? Blank. Very, very interesting. Anyway, enough about the brewery. You've probably heard of Brewing by Numbers before. 188, named after the bus that took us home from the old brewery to our new one. Oh, okay, that's an interesting move. This beer celebrates all the hard-working people at Transport for London who keep the capital moving. Double dry hopped with Citra and Simcoe. This is a fruity and refreshing pale ale. I'll be the judge of that, dear viewer. I love this. I still love it. I'm absolutely nuts as he itches his nose. When I was looking on the back, I did actually notice it's got Citra and Simcoe as the ops. Unfiltered, unrefined, unfined, not unrefined. I'm sure they're very refined. Unpasteurized, drink fresh. Hoppy smooth, hazy. 5.5 on the ABV, which is the good. Everything is good so far. I'm going to try and work out. Oh no! Things were going so well, dear viewer. Again, I was trying to work out, was this made in Bermondsey or Greenwich? And I shouldn't have bothered because it's brewed in the EU. Of course it is. Just nuts. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, Beer 52, but you've made me very, very angry. So, what have we got? We got oats, in there. No wheat, it says. I also know they've got some dextrin in there. There is a dextrin malt, or you could just put some dextrin in, or perhaps even maltodextrin, which helps with head retention, gives it a little bit of sweetness, that kind of thing, helps with the body too. But then the oats should help with that too. But why oh why? This brewery, as far as I know, could potentially have 2 breweries, but oh no, we've contract brewed out of the damn country when this is supposed to be showcasing London. It's not even brewed in the UK. Beer 52 is like a love-hate relationship. Some things just, I mean, make me very happy. Like this very small thing makes me so happy. But contract brewed makes me very unhappy. Brings a tear to my eye. The only way I can stop is by drinking a beer. And hopefully you guys are drinking beer at home. We shall see what we get from this. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad they're paying attention. I very much suspect they're paying attention to me, although my head does not need to get any bigger, because they're calling things like this pale ale, which is exactly what they are. They're not trying to be an IPA. Just under a finger's head, 75% perhaps. Should we do that? No, that's got a big enough logo, so I'm going to come back and forwards and that in there, and then a grin. And that, dear viewer, as you probably worked out, is the thumbnail for this video. Really hoppy, nice grassiness, a little bit of citra on the nose. Citrus, it's citra too, that's where the grass is coming from. Citrus in a kind of grapefruity kind of pith way. There's a bit of generic kind of hoppage there too, and it smells a little bit boozy. This one you can smell the alcohol coming off, and I have had this in the fridge, so there is no need for the booze to be coming off. But look at that, my God, that looks proper, doesn't it? That does look like a West Coast IPA. It looks like a West Coast IPA. It's got that orange hue to the beer. And what I like, whoops, what is that? I'm holding this perfectly upright, but it looks like it's slightly tilted. Perhaps I need to have a jiggery pokery with my camera stand, because that freaked me out for a minute then. You want to look at yourself in the mirror, or you try to shave in a mirror, and it's like weird because it's backwards because it's a mirror, right? Maybe it's just me. I can smell the creaminess too, which is, I know this is going to be a creamy bad boy. Guys, if you want to help me out on the channel, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say click like and subscribe and leave me a message. I always like the message. The message is probably the best way you can cheer your loving Unclejona up, because, yeah, I didn't do a video yesterday because after work, and I was working from home yesterday, I literally fell asleep at 4 o'clock. And I woke up sometime about 10 o'clock and went, oh no. And then had like happens when you have a cheeky early sleep, I couldn't get back to sleep. So 1, 2 o'clock. And then I woke up to the sound of the dustman at 5:30 this morning, running around half asleep. And bear in mind, I didn't have anything to drink. That's why there was no review yesterday. So I do apologise, but I'm going to drink a good one today, I'm sure. Cheers and beers, guys. Let's see what we get from this. It went down quite smooth, but as it trickled over my taste buds, I thought, oh, this is going to be quite hoppy. But it's not superbly hoppy. It's not an IBU bomb, but there are some hops in there. It's got that smoothness, and that's probably from the oats, but also from the addition of the dextrin. And I'm not sure, like I said, is it dextrin malt perhaps, or is it just powdered dextrin that you can get? But that's giving it a nice sweetness, and the sweetness is counteracting to some degree the bitterness from the hops. Because don't forget, this is a DDH, double dry hopped beer. So there's probably a lot of hops in, but I would imagine they've gone in really late. So it's not sharp as such, but I am getting some of those tropical fruits, led by a kind of orangey. I said grapefruit. It's not sharp as grapefruit. A little bit of kind of greenness there. That grass thing that only Citra can provide. But I have to say, it's so blooming smooth that it's kind of taken the edge off the hops a little bit. And some people would have called this an IPA purely because IPA sells more. But it's a double dry hopped pale ale. Lovely thick line, looking like a sausage dog or a caterpillar walking across the side of my glass. Or a dragon, an eastern dragon perhaps. Apart from it's got no head. Maybe St. George has been around. Happy St. George's Day for yesterday. I was going to say such things and then I fell asleep. I shouldn't drink beer. But yeah, at least I got a day off. This is a lovely beer. I'm really enjoying this. Nice and smooth, not too sharp. There is a little tiny chemically kind of thing. So perhaps they've used powdered dextrin in here. But it's weird. Sometimes when you get a beer that's very muted, it's kind of a bit disappointing. But because this is calling itself a pale ale and not trying to pretend to be an IPA, it's bang on style. And the creaminess from the oats is really molding everything together. Pardon me. It's not quite a milkshake beer, but it's reasonably thick. I mean, I suppose the mouthfeel would be average, not super thick on here. But the oats has kind of definitely thickened things up, like you get in a stout sometimes, especially when it's a light, like a low ABV stout. You can always tell when they put some oats in there because it kind of thickens the beer up and it makes it taste a bit sort of chewy, although it isn't really. It's quite a light bit. It's just giving it some oomph, and that's what's going on here. Last sip. Okay, interesting. So the last sip, I'm getting a bit more fruitiness. And when I say fruitiness, I'm talking about the kind of the Simcoe there. Just checking. Yeah, it's Citra and Simcoe. Just double checking the can because sometimes Beer 52 doesn't tell you the truth. It's a shame, really. They do things in weird ways sometimes. Oh, look, there's like a flying fish, or perhaps a hand reaching out to grab whatever it is. Grab the side of the glass. Oh, and there's like a Loch Ness monster there, sticking its head out of the waves. Fantastic. Beer-wise, really nice. I'm liking that. Just a shame that they kind of lied, or they misled, maybe not a full-on lie, but they misled saying that this was definitely from a UK brewer. when it was made in the EU and then imported back, which is absolutely nuts when there's plenty of breweries. Like I've said before, there's a contract brewery maybe 200-300 yards that way in that direction. SEB Brewing, which is here in Broadstairs. I can almost see from my window. A few houses in the way, so can't quite see it, but I know it's there because I've been there. Yeah, very interesting brew, and I have been waxing lyrical enough, dear viewer. There's the 188 double dry hop pale ale, really good beer. Just a shame that we were misled into thinking it was from London when it wasn't. This has been Unclejona drinking EU beers when I want to drink British beers, so you guys don't have to. And don't panic, because I'll return with another beer review real soon.